For Subban on the second power play unit at the right point. Forsberg now down to the half ward on the right wing side. Forsberg's pass zipped out and straight away now. Subban tees up and the score! A power play pass by PK Subban.
Weekend game plan with Matthew Ross. We're here till the top of the hour. We were going to talk a little NFL, but we have a nice guest here on the show. A little late, but never too late for this show. From lnh.com, live from Nashville, we now welcome Arpon Basu to the program. Took in the Preds game last night. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm still trying to figure out time zones, Matt. Sorry about that.
No problem. Now, I had a chance to watch this game last night, Arpon, and was the crowd as electric and as impressive in person as it looked on TV? It looked like a playoff atmosphere.
Yeah, probably more so, I would say. It was the crowd was pumped. I mean, listen, this is probably the best Nashville Predators team in Predators history. I mean, in terms of talent-wise and just in terms of, entering a season considered a contender to do some great things. So the crowd was pumped for it. The fact that Subban was making his debut was obviously a big part of it, and he delivered last night. He played a really good game.
The Predators escape with a 3-2 victory, albeit with Subban taking a penalty in the final 2 minutes. Could he have been the GOAT there if Chicago had tied it?
He could have, but, it was the type of penalty that kind of typified the type of game that Subban had. I mean, it wasn't a stupid penalty, and I got to say, considering a lot of the stuff that was going on last night, it's not a penalty that I think he really deserved. But he was aggressively trying to keep Marian Hossa from getting to the front of the net. He went a bit overboard. He pushed him into the net, pushed the net off its moorings. And I think if he had not done that, he probably wouldn't have gotten called. But yeah, it made for a tense ending and could have really ruined what I thought was a really solid debut because, for all the kind of pizzazz that everyone thought that PK would be free to do, removed from, Michel Therrien's sort of watch, he didn't do that stuff, by and large, he played a really sort of risk-free, solid, physical type of game, the type of game you would expect from the guy that they traded him for, Shea Weber. I mean, he played really the type of game that I think the Canadians got Shea Weber to play. And so it was really surprising to watch him, keep it kind of reined in, keep it, conservative, frankly, and really concern himself with defense more than anything else, and then get kind of burned for it at the end in the way that called that penalty.
Now, on the other side, Chicago is a team that started off 0-2, albeit against two pretty good teams in St. Louis and Nashville. Watching that game, Arpon, it just seemed like the depth is missing for Chicago. I mean, did Duncan Keith come off the ice in the final 4 minutes? The same with Taves. It just looked like these guys were just triple shifted.
They have no bottom six forward wise. Marcus Kruger is a really nice fourth line center, but he's not a great third line center, and that's where he's spotted right now. The fourth line with Schmaltz and Estroza and Mott, if I'm not mistaken, but Tutu rather. Sorry, and so they have Jordan Tutu plays, which is not is you would think is not a very sort of Blackhawks way of putting a team out, and so. They're going to have some problems while these kids playing on their bottom six kind of get used to things. Forsling didn't have a great night last night on defense, but I think he's probably going to work out the more he gets his sort of the nerves out. But to me, the third and fourth line forward lines are a serious issue. Andrew Evans will help when he gets back from injury, but they have too many kids playing too many minutes on their bottom six, and it was apparent last night that Bill Quenneville doesn't trust them. And I don't know, it's going to take them a long time to gain his trust.
Just wrapping up with Arpon Basu from lnh.com as we talk a little NHL here on the show. One Habs note for you, Arpon. Andrighetto gets put on waivers yesterday. We'll find out at noon if anyone claims him. Do you expect him to go to St. John's and the Ice Caps, or do you believe that someone will indeed claim him?
That's a tough one. I don't know. There are a lot of than Andrighetto-like players. I think the one thing that I was surprised by that I think maybe they should have done is that they should have maybe tried to sneak him through waivers when everyone else was on waivers. And even if Jeff Petrie was injured, they should have just done it, when every other team was doing it. So that maybe he could sneak through in sort of the crowd. Now he's literally the only player on waivers. So I'm not saying that, players don't notice players who are up, but it seems to me that in the interim, if someone got injured, I mean, you're talking about the Blackhawks, he would look pretty good on their third line right now. And so I wouldn't be surprised if there was a team out there who could use a little bit of scoring depth that would grab them.
LNash.com is the website, at Arpon Basu on Twitter. Arpon, thank you so much for chiming in. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, my pleasure, man.